Noor was a little firefly, but she had big dreams. Every night she looked up at the stars. "Oh, how I wish I could touch them," she sighed. Noor's light flickered with excitement. She imagined dancing among the stars. What an adventure that would be. All the other fireflies just flew around the meadow, but not Noor. She wanted something more. Noor knew she was just a tiny firefly. Reaching the stars seemed impossible, but something inside her said, "Never give up on your dreams." Noor was determined. She would find a way to reach for the stars. One night, everything was quiet. The air was still. It was the perfect night for an adventure. Noor took a deep breath. She spread her tiny wings and flew up into the air. "Goodbye, meadow," she called out. "I'm going to touch the stars." Up, up, up she flew. The trees looked smaller and smaller below her. The world felt big and exciting. Noor had never been this high before. The journey was long. Noor started to feel tired, but she kept going. "I won't give up," she whispered. Just then she saw a shadowy figure perched on a branch. It was an owl with big, wise eyes. And the owl hooted softly. "Well, hello there, little firefly. What are you doing so high up in the sky?" Noor told the owl about her dream of reaching the stars. The owl listened patiently. When she was finished, the owl smiled. "Follow your dreams, little one," the owl hooted. "But remember to keep your light burning bright. It will guide you on your way." Noor felt braver with the owl's words. She thanked the owl and promised to remember her advice. With a hopeful heart, Noor continued her journey. The night was dark, but Noor wasn't afraid. She had her dream, and she had her light, and that was all she needed. The air grew colder as Noor flew higher. She had never been this far from home before. She missed the familiar meadow and her firefly friends. But then she would look up at the stars, shining like diamonds in the sky. They gave her the courage to keep going. Noor came face to face with challenges. She flew through clouds that hid the stars from view. Strong winds threatened to blow her off course, but Noor remembered the owl's words, "Keep your light burning bright." So Noor kept flying. She flew higher and higher, her tiny light shining like a beacon in the darkness. She was a tiny firefly with a giant-sized dream, and she wouldn't give up. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind swept Noor up into the air. "Whoa!" she cried, holding on tight. She spun and twirled higher and higher. The wind was carrying her. Noor closed her eyes, afraid at first. Then, just as suddenly as it began, the wind stopped. Noor opened her eyes. She gasped in amazement. She was surrounded by stars. They twinkled and shimmered, closer than she had ever imagined. Noor reached out her tiny leg and realized she could touch them. They were real. The stars twinkled warmly like 1,000 tiny eyes winking at her. The stars welcomed Noor with open arms. They had heard of her journey and were amazed by her bravery. "You're the first firefly we've ever met," a star twinkled. "It's an honor," Noor said, her heart overflowing with joy. "You are so small, yet so brave to make this journey," another star chimed in. The stars shared their stories and secrets with Noor. They told her about distant galaxies and the wonders of the universe. Noor listened in awe and wonder. She realized that even though she was just a tiny firefly, she had done something extraordinary. After a while, it was time for Noor to return. The stars showered her with their warmth and light. "Come back and visit us any time," they twinkled. "We'll be here." Noor promised she would. With a heart full of joy, she flew back towards the meadow. The journey back felt shorter this time, maybe because Noor's heart was so full of joy. She couldn't wait to tell her friends all about her adventure. When she reached the meadow, everyone was asleep. Noor landed softly on a blade of grass. She knew she had a story that would inspire them all. She would tell them about the stars and the owl and the importance of following your dreams. The next evening, all the fireflies gathered around Noor. They had heard whispers of her adventure. Noor told them about her journey, her voice filled with excitement. She described the stars' beauty and the wisdom of the owl. The fireflies listened with wide eyes. They had never thought about reaching for the stars before. Noor's story filled them with hope and wonder. They too started to dream big. Noor encouraged them to never give up on their dreams, no matter how small they might seem. "If I can reach for the stars," she said, "imagine what you can do." From that day on, Noor was known as the firefly who touched the stars. She became a beacon of hope for all the fireflies in the meadow. Whenever they felt lost or discouraged, they would look up at the stars and remember Noor's story. And Noor? She never forgot her adventure. She continued to fly high, her light shining brightly, a reminder that even the smallest of creatures can achieve their dreams with courage and determination. Every night Noor looked up at the stars and smiled. They weren't just distant lights in the sky anymore. They were her friends, a reminder of her extraordinary journey and the power of a dream.